We are, everybody. Hemp Hooray. It's Jeff Eichen here with the sunshine in my face. Let's see if we can turn the sunshine down a little bit. So we turn the sunshine down a little bit and we go boom, boom. And we bring on Cannabis. And hello, everybody. It's Jeff Eichen here with WEEDSDAYS today. We're bringing everybody on board. And we're opening up our incredible StreamYard here. We're gonna present the whole screen so we can have a beautiful session here. Boom. Okay, so here we go. Welcome everybody to WEEDSDAY. It's going to be a great show today. And we have Genie in a Bottle, Okay, so that was really fun. And I'm going to go right into it, and I'm going to share my screen and show you that I was interviewed this week, and then we'll have our intro, and we'll get back to our clan here. So here we go. Share my screen with you all. And gonna share my little Cannabis Commons here.
Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Cannabis Common Sense. We have a guest for you tonight, great guest, Jeff Eichen, the producer of Lifers, the movie. Talks about people in prison on life without the possibility of parole sentences. He actually has gone into some of these prisons and interviewed these people and helped some of them get released after 20 plus years. So stay tuned for more of that. We also have a little clip. Here we just have a couple of federal stories here tonight. For the first time in history, the President of the United States used part of his State of the Union address to promote marijuana reform, and especially ahead of the November election. It reflects a recognition of the popularity of cannabis reform from the White House at a critical time.
It's our duty, and our karma is not clean until we get all the prisoners home. Because we're smoking and we're making a lot of money here with legal marijuana, and our prisoners are still in jail. But we do have a little bit of light after we heard Biden and Kamala talk this week. So just stay tuned, everybody. We're going to do this.
Well, we have a clip. Well, first we have a trailer from your movie. So you want to do an introduction to the trailer?
This trailer shows some interviews along my highway about me going to, like I said, the Drug Policy Alliance and other expos. You know, there's so many expos these days. We're getting expo fatigue. But when I used to go to expos, now that I'm doing my own show now, I'm getting ready to. I would interview people incessantly and ask them what their take is and how they want to support their brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers in jail for marijuana.
All right, here's the trailer to Lifers, the movie.
Enjoy this. This was done back in 2016, everybody. Took me many hundreds of hours to edit this, but I learned the whole art of filmmaking as I know it.
This is coming soon for Lifers, the movie.
Thank you, Jeffrey, for coming today. Thank you for giving people like me a voice. This is Kristen for Lifers, the movie. Free the people, free the planet.
First thing we have to do, remember, you just got to stop the war on drugs, to stop fighting it and prohibition.
I don't think nonviolent criminals should be locked up. Give them probation, community service.
The end destination is not reform.
but it is really transformation.
Yes.
And that transformation means that we create a new kind of world in which the racialized hierarchy, the ways in which capital is used to disempower people as opposed to providing people with the quality of life that we all deserve, has got to be the destination.
Paper, fiber, fuel, medicine, and food, everybody. And now plastic and building materials. Nobody should be in jail for a plant.
Certainly, I'll never be the same again. You know, it's hard for me to relate to any normalcy, but as a man, you know, I won't let you see that.
Thank you, Mr. President, for clemency. Thank you, Mr. President, for clemency.
Thank you, Mr. President, for clemency.
Thank you, Mr. President, for clemency.
Thank you, Mr. President, for clemency. Spending this time in prison means getting that done, then it'll be worth it.
Mr. Tommy Chung for Lifers. Madness. That is an interesting movie. Where can people see the movie?
Well, my movie lives on YouTube. I don't have that identical link, but you can get it through lifersthemovie.com. And that's my main site for my movie. And you scroll down and the link will be right there and you can watch the full movie.
Well, we have another little excerpt here, a few minutes of an interview that you did in prison. So let's go ahead and run that now.
Okay, and I like to say also before you run this piece is that I'm probably one of the only people that have been in prison to film and to talk to prisoners. I talked to Michael Thompson, who is out, thank the Lord, Jeff Mazansky, who is out. We got 350,000 or more signatures in Missouri for him, and Governor Nixon let him out. So it does work, everybody. Use your voice and vote. When we were fighting for our independence, what were we fighting for? And the right to have freedom. Right. Do we really have it now? I don't think so. We have some freedoms. We're losing a lot of them. But for something that's not hurting people, they're taking away and locking you up. Right. What kind of freedom is that? Because, and I'll tell you why they're locking you up, because somebody decided that bought a lot of trees that they wanted to make paper products out of it, and they had the money, big business, to pay the right people to get it made illegal. This is during the William Randolph Hearst time. Amen. That's right. So, you know, I've been trying to learn all the facts I can about it. Mm-hmm. And I've come a long way from where I was. But
you know they're making a hemp car now? They're making hemp plastic.
I've seen that on the news. And
Hemp car is cool.
I fell out of our bunk when I was walked in. I said, I couldn't believe it. That's great. So why are we paying farmers now to leave their fields unplanted? When we could be planting hemp in there, using it and developing a whole big industry instead of importing it from China.
Right.
That was me in prison, everybody. I'm here with you today on episode 199. And I'm working with Freedom Grow, and we love Last Prisoner Project. And I was interviewed this week, I guess. Now, it was either Friday or Monday, but the days are rolling into themselves since we had our live fundraiser. But let's roll right into our intro here, and we'll give a little bit of fundraiser here. Let's see. I have a wrap-up mixer. Let's do our wrap-up mixer. No, not yet. We'll get Rodimus in on that one. Okay, so here we go, everybody. Welcome to Weeds Day, episode 199. Hello, everybody. It's Jeff Eichen here with episode 199 from WEEDSDAY. WEEDSDAY. I'm so happy to tell you and to report that our fundraiser / blazer and magical donor mixer went splendid. We got our first $500 check from a dispensary here locally, Cannabis Change, one of the earliest dispensaries on the Olympic Peninsula. And thanks to Travis and his family, they're going to help us with other fundraiser events at their studio. They have an upstairs that's going to be magnificent to show films and to get bartenders across the country to donate $10 once a month. We're going to enable that soon. And we're really honored that we pulled this off. Kirk and I were, I believe, excellent, and we had a great presentation. We're going to polish that up every time we get going to a new event. It'll be better and better and better. Our social media will get better and better, and we're excited for our launch of the relief project here. And so thank you all for turning out and for showing up and for donating. You can still donate at relieffoundation.org and help us with our production back end of things so we can get a IT person and a financier that's going to help us go to Oakland Coliseum. We're asking for Willie and Stoop, Earth, Wind, and Fire, and maybe Devo and Supertramp will be local to raise the money to put a deposit on the stadium, and then not stop there, have more, and raise the awareness that there are still people in jail for marijuana crimes. And it is unbelievable. My heart still goes out to all of the families that are in jail also by having their father, mother, brother, or sister in jail. Thank God Lance Glore is home. He's a young man that was in for like a long time. He was sentenced for 10 years. Randy Lanier we talked to this week, and we know about him from Rookie of the Year at IndyCar 500. He's got a lot of swag with Freedom Grow, and they're going to help us bring this to the table and bring a concert series every year. And Pepperay, enjoy the show, everybody. Isn't it great to see people come home for nonviolence, marijuana offenses? 30 freaking years, everybody.
Jeff Eichen here with Lifers the Movie. Sticking to my story. Thank you all for joining in here and watching this incredible story of people, yes, still in prison for life, for a plan, and for nonviolent crimes.
This is Tommy Chong for Lifers. Madness.
We had a great magical mixer and launch to our concert series and film festival series to raise awareness that there are still prisoners in jail. And don't forget, NOCO 10 is coming up next month, and we have Tim Blake here from Emerald Cup in California that's happening this fall. So look out, here we come. We're going to end prohibition together and bring the prisoners home. And hooray. Hallelujah, everybody. Free the prisoners, free the plant, and do social media as often as you can. And I'll show the rap mixer in a little bit when Rodimus comes on. It's really beautiful, and we're just really excited that we had a beautiful beginning to our event, concert series, and film festival. So thank you, Morris Beagle from NOCO 10, which is next month, and in Colorado, and I may show up there. And we just had Wall of Flowers, we heard. And so all these expos are happening, but we also have coming up this fall is the Emerald Cup. I think they're 30 years old now. And this is Johnny Mack, who played for us at our magical donor mixer. So I'll play that in a minute. In the meantime, let's come back to our board of directors here. And thank you so much. Jeannie, are you with us? There's Jeannie. You're muted. Welcome, Jeannie. It's coming. We're getting our magical voice together.
Hi, everybody. I'm here. Can you hear me?
You're beautiful. Yeah, we got you.
Okay. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Welcome to WEEDSDAYS.
Hey. Well, I'm glad you have technology on your side. You're looking great. And if you do this right here, go do this to your hair. You got one of those. What are they? What the kids in the old days? What was that episode with the kids in black and white? They always had a cowlick up. They had one piece of hair just all sticking up. Well, you look beautiful, and it's fine. And tell us a little bit about your week.
Oh, it's been a busy week. It's spring, as we all know, the first day of spring. So happy equinox, everyone. And I heard from Edwin Rubis. Edwin Rubis is in Alabama. This man sent a picture of his cell and wrote a little bit about his experience, and it was absolutely heart-wrenching. How can any human being know that somebody is in a cage for a safety meeting, for a plant, for something that is healing and protecting? And I was doing a lot of research over the weekend, and I found out that not only is Kentucky getting ready to maybe completely legalize, but they're thinking of using it for autism. What can be better than giving a child medicine that doesn't hurt them, doesn't make them go into a scary place, and in no way is something that they're screaming and crying that they have to go and endure. Instead, it's a peaceful, calming, loving, something they can eat, something they can drink, maybe something they can even just wear. And it's completely non-harmful, non-scary. And I was dealing with people with their pets that are using it for their pets. As you know, I used it on that 6-pound lump on the dog that I was taking care of. We did shift that lump in the end. She did end up going to the Rainbow Bridge. But I came in, she had that lump since she was a baby, and she was at least 6 years old when I came to her. And to manage to shift a lump that big in this amount of time was an absolute miracle. And every day, miracles with this plant are being discovered, and yet we're putting people in prison for it. What is the insanity here? Why are we doing this, and how can we allow it? So everyone out there listening to me and part of our show and wants to be part of the show, and to all of you that I've invited, and you know that I've done my bit and I've invited loads of you, listen, how can you allow it? How can you allow one human being to have to sit in jail one moment longer? It needs to end. We need to free the people, free the plant, free the medicine, free the research. We don't have to suffer, and neither do the people that we love and care for.
And look, I have hemp hearts here. I put in my smoothie every day. You can get them right at your local Costco. I mean, why is America lame on growing hemp seeds? We import it all from Canada. Same with the paper. And I'm not privy to big business, but I think one of the biggest business would be hemp toilet paper,
Hemp tissue, yes.
Yeah, I think there's it's not TMI, but I think there's hemp tampons, women's products, and they absorb differently, and they're antimicrobial. That's why the ships had them, because the fabric would not mold, and now they have obviously carbon fiber sails that are lighter and faster and this and that. But still, at my show, you'll see a few photos in our magical mystery mixer wrap up here that I wore my hemp suit. I have a hemp suit that I made in Vietnam, You know, it was just so beautiful. I wore my black suit and with the pinstripe. And so the cotton industry is the dirtiest industry on the planet. And it's because of the formaldehyde and the pesticides that they use to keep the boll weevils off the plant so they can grow dirty cotton. Because the people that are spraying and working in the fields are dying early because they breathe the freaking chemicals. And that's just not bueno for us, you know, people in the know and people like myself. I don't preach my food habits, my raw veganism, but I'm 80-20. I still eat salmon and I still eat cooked food, but not 100%. But I just know that ingesting hemp has an amino acid that nobody else has. And what Tommy says, Tommy Chongster, he says that it could be the perfect plant. You know, it has so many, 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 many benefits. And it helps children with epilepsy. It helps brain tumor cancer victims. I want to do a movie with the Cannabis and all that stuff. So all you producers out there, come join forces with me. Let's go and do my second movie on a big scale. But we're getting ready to show our movie out there. And we'll have Jeannie 420 in our movies. We'll have Solo Breezy. And so there we go. And so let's bring Solo up for a second here. Solo, good morning, Solo. Good afternoon.
Cheers, fellow stoners.
Hey, so after you take the 5-MeO frog out of your throat, and so after you do that, there goes Jeannie into the bottle. We want you to give us a quote for the day.
No problem. I'm a little bit of cotton mouth. I had to I took an edible.
Oh, nice. You want to go grab some water and come back?
No, I'm okay. Thank you.
Okay,
Sorry
okay.
about that.
Wait, you're a pro. You're a pro. Is that a Los Angeles Rams hat?
Yes.
Hey, I'm
It's
from
actually-
LA.
It's actually St. Louis.
Oh, St. Louis Rams. Okay.
And if you look at, because it's like they're old.
Oh yeah, it's the old
Rams.
Ram. Yeah, there you go.
That's my favorite football team. So.
The Rams.
Okay. Well, it's my birthday next week. I'm a Ram. I'm an Aries. So
That's right. It is your birthday.
you know, so there you go. April 2nd, everybody. Just send me vibes. Don't need anything.
It wasn't on April Fool's.
No, I stayed in. So give us a quote. Give us one of your quotes, your beautiful quotes.
420, and then 420 is coming up.
420 is coming up, yes. What's everybody doing for 420 besides, you know, taking a big toke?
I'll be taking care of patients and taking care of their animals. And I'll be trying to stay safe myself. And I'll definitely be thinking about those prisoners, thinking about them every day, but especially on a holiday like that.
Yeah, we talked to Randy Lanier yesterday, and he's jumping on board our bandwagon, and we're really excited to have our technology mama in the bottle here. So you're freaking awesome. And so Solar Breezy's got some beautiful technology behind him. He's got grass, you know. I mean, come on, this is our relief, you know. I tried to get the license for the background of my card. It's made with an AI, chains, and here's chains and hands and everything. And so I can not be kiboshed by their robots, you know. So just beware of robots, everybody, and everything. Don't be freaked out. Don't have any anxiety or stress. You know, we're losing people right and left to bipolar disorder and opiates, and it's the opposite of marijuana that kind of calms you down. There are some strains that freak you out, like when you smoke them and they make you paralyzed because they're making them so strong now. Watch out for that wedding cake, and watch out for that GMO and that El Chapo. And Mike Tyson, I heard, has a really strong you know, breed. But do everything with moderation except for love. That's all I got to say. Solo, bring us in with a quote, please.
sometimes by losing a battle, you find a new way to win the war.
Okay.
So I really appreciate your quotes. They're really powerful and really give people something to think about. So thank you for coming every week and sharing all your wisdom and knowledge with us and educating the masses. We appreciate you very much.
We do appreciate you, Solo. So think about that. Think about what's going on globally right now. My friend Brock called me today, and I've known Brock for 30 or 40 years, and his sister was traveling. Hang on just a minute. We're going to let the grasshopper in. His sister was traveling, Alexis, in Europe this week, and he said, go to Alexis's website, go to Alexis's website, go to Alexis's website. And so I typed it in, and I went there to her Facebook page, and she said Slava Ukraine, and she was in Ukraine like yesterday and posting that and everything. So on her tour to travel the world, there's some people that say, oh, I've been to 80 countries, Well, we have Grasshopper. Welcome on board, Grasshopper, and Mr. Rodimus Para. Hey, yeah, and we're blessed to have you. The my friend I was talking about, Brock's sister. He said go onto her Facebook and see where she is, and it said Slava Ukraine. She's in Ukraine yesterday. So Alexis was in Ukraine, and we're talking about a little bit about Solo's quote this morning. And Solo's quote this morning says, out of war comes solution. Is that what you said? Solo?
Yeah. Before I read the quote relates to me as in cannabis terms.
Uh-huh.
So like I'm learning a lot that like we want to be free of cannabis, but then at the same time there's a lot of restrictions on cannabis. So it's always like a battle. People go to jail for it. I learned that it's really hard to dispensary.
We got you.
Dispensaries get broken into all the time. It's a lot to keep. A lot of people run dispensaries. They don't last too long. So like, there's a lot of different aspects that it's difficult in the cannabis, but then there's a lot of beautiful things that we're trying to bring new ground every single time, every day to it. There are good dispensaries, but then I heard there are a lot of overpriced dispensaries. So there's battles within the war. We're trying to win every day as activists and people who consume cannabis for health reasons. There's a lot of negatives, but we all have to be positive in it because there are more positive effects than negative effects.
So nice said. And so it's about forgiveness, right? Can you read the quote again so Rodimus can hear the OG quote?
Sometimes by losing a battle, you find a new way to win the war.
I just have one thing to say. So, thank you so much, young man, young sensei, or is that a type of marijuana sensei? So we're so blessed to. I'm happy to have you here and be back after quite a bit of an absence there, and so welcome. Be strong, and let's learn and let's forgive. So it's cool to have my regulars here, and including Champagne, France, where Rodimus resides presently, and we have Crazy Pop Mom popping in. So we'll say hi to Crazy Pop Mom right now.
Hello. How are you guys?
Oh, we're doing
Hey,
great.
Crazy.
You look like a beautiful mermaid.
No, well, thank you. I almost forgot about the show. I got a reminder and then I was like, okay, I'll go shower. And then I must have missed the next reminder. And then I was like, how is it this late? Okay, I'm here, but I'm not functioning. That's all I can say.
They need to have a shower phone, you know, where you can take it in the shower with you. And you'll never be without your phone.
No, I'm sorry. Do not want to do the show while I'm in the shower now. Sorry. Everything, but I'm not willing to do that for you.
I like you, Casey.
Solo's waving at you, Mom. Hey. Well, cool. Do you have any?
Oh, I promise.
Hey. Well, we had a good fundraiser and there it goes. Oh, he's the waving hand of mystery or thing from the Addams family. We had a great launch for our fundraiser event that we did. Really excited about that, everybody. I showed a little bit about that in our first clip that you missed, Rodimus, but I have a wrap-up little video to play before we do the news. And I'm just giving a cap for you, Crazy Pop Mom, that Solo had a really beautiful saying this morning about war and battles, that we can get through that with forgiveness and
You can send it to me later.
And he'll send it to you later. Yeah. So welcome aboard, everybody. It's a great day to really talk about the industrial side of things, hemp and Lakota, and having the natives, indigenous friends of ours growing 1 million acres so we can make hempcrete, right? And I have my hemp plastic here. BMW is making plastic cars, but what the hell? This is made with a 3D printer. I mean, come on, and Morris from NOCO 10, which is in a month or in 3 weeks, Morris makes hemp guitars, and they're beautiful and they sound beautiful, and he makes hemp amplifiers and they sound beautiful. There's no reason to be using wood right now on the planet, because when I went to the Global Change Restore Film Festival this weekend, they were talking about each forest that's gone, cluster of trees, takes so much global warming or global cooling from the trees that leave the soil, let alone the carbon that they promote when they're living together, and that's one big filter. So hemp can save that also if we plant 1 million acres. So let's hear it for Lakota Hemp and all the industrial people. We often have Paul White on the show, and him and his partner are bringing decorticators to America, and they're $1 million to buy one. But if you have the desire to make fabric in America from hemp and help that industry and everything like that, like I said, dirty cotton is actually because of the pesticides that they're using to grow more of it. So we've evolved into humans that are actually taking it's really a responsibility. They're making more food, more cotton for more t-shirts and clothes that are dirty, which could be made out of clean hemp. That's all I know. And so nobody should be in jail for something that has amino acids and that are really, delicious and important to have. There's some things that I heard that are in the hemp seed that are totally unique, and they help you. If you've known anybody that's gotten sick, I'm not telling you that eating hemp hearts, hemp seeds are going to fortify you enough to never get cancer. We're breathing it. We're walking it. We need to step this up. So by us doing a concert, we're going to have a whole expo down on the field at Oakland Coliseum, a learning school. We're going to invite all the schools, the hemp schools, and we're going to teach and not preach, you know. And so I just want to share that with you, everybody, that we had a great fundraiser, and I'm going to show that right now, and then we'll go to the news, everybody. So here we go. I'll show my little fundraiser spot, and here it is. Okay, so that's Johnny Mac. Johnny Mac had a great little guitar moment, and here we go. That's Kirk and I doing our incredible talk. That's our little art table, Jeff Mazansky. These are some donors from the Chimicum or the Port Hadlock Sea Change Cannabis. There's our beautiful partners there at the bar. We had Wowie drinks. There's our t-shirt. There's the morning after. Say hi to Kyrie, everybody.
So, it's time to really realize that we're in the era of the punishment fitting crime. Doesn't work anymore. And so my name is Jeff Eichen. Welcome, everybody. It feels great to see you and to meet you and to have you join us on our first leg of our journey to the mountaintop. The mountaintop is going to be Oakland Coliseum with the concert at Oakland Coliseum, and we're going to be asking Snoop and Willie to play and bring 42,000 people to have a concert of awareness that there are still 420 POWs
in jail for marijuana. So we're really excited that went over incredibly. And I got a button, I got a mouse on every button here. So here we are back, everybody. And welcome everybody on StreamYard and POD TV and Facebook. And do your best to write letters. The prisoners love letters. We heard from Edwin today through Jeannie. I've got my paperwork in to go visit Edwin and to go film him. And if they don't let me film him, I'll film from the outside, but I'll prove that I go there, and I'll raise the awareness by throwing that at, you know, the president or the governor. You know, we helped Jeff Mazansky come home, and Michael Thompson and other prisoners. We stood really tall for Lance Glore and for everybody else. Eddie Lepp, who told me that if you put me in jail, you put my family in jail. And Eddie Lepp was my great rainbow brother. And I'll play that scene for you soon when I get time to organize that scene. Really a great talking moment. And he is no longer with us. So we lost Eddie Lepp, but we gained the footage that I have from him and his spirit and all the time that he was in prison. Jeff Mazansky said in my movie, if all this makes a difference, it was worth it. So anyways, who knows if you could even think that when you're in prison. But Rodimus, come on up and give us some news. We'd love to hear the news. Are you with us, Mr. RP? Let's see if Rodimus is going to be RP.
Sorry, Jeff. Sorry, Jeff. I just had a phone call I had to take, and now I'm back. Thanks.
Oh, that's great. Well, you're just in time to read the news. Tell everybody a little bit about your dedication to the project that we're involved with, you and I, and reading the news. How that helps you get the message out yourself and your heart.
So, when I started hearing about what Jeff was doing a few years ago, I was really amazed that Jeff was, I had known him only to be an artist before, and I knew he was pro-hemp, etc., but I didn't realize that he was stepping up his game, and I didn't know myself that there were so many people still in jail. So when I started to check into what he was doing and the information he was providing me with, I said, wow, you know, I don't have a cause that I participate in, that I try to, other than just, you know, being a better person on the planet. That's what I was doing before, and I'm still doing that, hopefully. But I I thought, well, this is something I could sink my teeth into too. So I decided to help Jeff, and we started talking, and one thing led to another, and here we are a couple of years later. I'm really proud of what he put together with these several people who were involved in getting that event going. I was doing the best I could from way over here in France. I was writing things and reviewing things and attending all of our team meetings and things like that. So I did everything I could virtually. And then reading the news is just a fun thing that Jeff asked me to do on the show. And it's not like a calling of mine to be a newscaster or anything, but it's a way to participate and give Jeff a moment that he can do other things or set up the next part of the show or whatever he needs to do. I don't know, because he's running all kinds of technical stuff right now, and I'm not doing that. I'm just showing up. Without trying to embarrass you, Jeff, or myself for that matter, I don't know where. I looked in my email, I couldn't find the Canon News, so I don't have anything to read for you, unfortunately, at this moment.
Oh, I sent it to you in WhatsApp. It was the Tommy Chong.
Solo.
Oh, I see. Solo has something to say though. Go ahead.
Hi, Solo.
I could suggest something, like a topic that's in the news that I've been seeing a lot of us talk about.
Well, cool. Except that I'm just Jeff just informed me. Say that 3 times fast. Jeff just informed me 3 times fast that that article that he wants me to read was sent to me not as an email but as a WhatsApp, which is not where I get my primary information from typically. So sorry, Jeff. I'm sorry I didn't notice that.
That's okay. That's okay.
I can wing it for you if you want.
Sure. I mean, winging is good. I mean, I'm not a buffalo wing kind of guy because I'm a raw vegan, but the but we'd love to see if you could pull that Tommy Chong story up, or just give us a synopsis of what you read from that and what you remember, and that could be our news, and we're done. We're live show, everybody. You know, this is the Red Skeleton Show, and here we go.
Not to disrespect Solo, he had something important that he thought we could
come on Solo first, and then Rodimus, go back to the Tommies, because people should know what Tommy's doing. That would be great news. Okay.
Yeah. So go ahead, Solo, please. Thanks.
Okay, Solo.
So I've been like reading different articles, especially here in Pennsylvania where I live. There's about 10,000 to 13,000 arrests. Like 1,300 people arrested in my state. Like a lot of people get arrested for cannabis, and it'd be good just to have a casual conversation about it. Why do we think that happens so often?
So you read about that, or you participated? You're participating in kiboshing that and helping that through.
Yeah, my state, my area, just get the conversation started. You know.
And what's your take on it? What would you do? What's your next move?
I would legalize weed here in the state instead of medical, because it causes a lot more problems than it is.
So is there do you have Normal there? You can go to Normal and see if you can help to sign signatures. And
yeah, so I petitioned a couple weeks ago to write a letter to my state stating that we want to legalize marijuana. So I wanted to get involved. I also donated money to freedom prisoners. So like I'm pretty active in the community, and then when I'm in my own community, I talk about how much weight you can carry before you get in trouble. Make sure you have your medical card so you don't get in trouble, because people go to jail even if you have your medical card. There's 13,000 arrests. Like people, it's crazy out here.
Is that annual or total?
Total. This is our state.
But is that an annual arrest count, or is it total?
Total.
Amazing. And they're in jail, or they just have?
Yeah.
What?
It's
I mean, come on.
It's legal to vape but not smoke.
That's making me crazy. We need smoking, bars where you can go and smoke and have edibles and get an Uber to take you home, And
it's a first Commonwealth state, so they're really strict on us.
Oh man. Well, thank you so much for that for that bit of news. And Jeannie, come up, and I'm going to put you on the front screen and say hi to Solo and have a little dialogue with him.
Hi, Solo. I'm really sorry to hear that. You know, there's patients everywhere, and there are people that need cannabis, don't even realize the benefits and what it can actually do for you because they're living in the stigma of when it was completely illegal, and also that they just don't get the message that it is all medicinal. The side effect, if you will, is recreational. You're going to get a medical benefit regardless of whether or not you're trying to get a medical benefit. And I feel for you when you say that you ate a medical and you're kind of couch locked. Just one bit of advice: don't try to do karaoke like I do. You'll never get the words out.
No karaoke on gummy bears. Hey.
No, karaoke on gummy bears. Rodimus, you're doing a great job with the news. We really appreciate it. I was looking forward to your report. So it's kind of a bummer that we didn't get to hear it, but we'll look forward to it the next one. And Crazy, we send you all the love and care. And Jeff, we're so proud of you. I watched your fundraiser from beginning to end. I got a little clip of you for Kimmy to remember you always. And yes, your hemp suit, you were looking so fresh. He was looking quite fresh, everybody. And he was really doing his thing. He was dancing. He was bringing the joy, bringing the meeting to everyone and letting them know that this is what we're trying to do. And this is what we're doing. And I did hear from Lance Glore.
Yeah.
This is my very first interview on my radio show, the 420 Safety Meeting years ago. And his mom, Tracy, and him, they were my first topics and my first guests. And unfortunately, I had to tell Tracy that the court had decided that her son had to go to prison for 10 years. I had to announce that. It was so difficult to read that bit of news. But now he's free.
I was there I was there at the state capitol in Washington the day that he was sentenced.
Oh, heartbreaking.
I was there interviewing everybody. Yeah, it was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Well,
I did hear from him, and he's doing much, much better now that he's out and free. Soon he'll be on our show to share his story.
We'll bring him on, and I'm going to work with Tracy and Lance and do the Lance documentary. I'm going to do Jeff Bazansky and maybe one other prisoner, maybe Randy Lanier, and put them all together, you know. And so there's not enough time or money to do one story about one person. It's about the collective. And that's what our concert's about, is helping all the prisoners collectively and going to Freedom Grow and using their swag and their commissary, their whole network that they built up for years collectively to help us when we help them, to bring the financial thank you for, not thank you for being in jail, but thank you for coming home and being with your children again. It's our gift to them. So Rodimus, come on back up and give us your little story about Tommy Chong. We'd love to hear that story that I sent you. That is really interesting. Everybody, Tommy and I are friends, and Tommy is 80 some odd years old. I think 86 he turned this year. And I'm going to send him a photograph of a black and white one, hand printed, that I made. But it's not about me. It's about Rodimus right now reading the news, or not reading, but sharing a bit about that, what it said, what he's doing, what's going on with him and Cheech. Take it away.
Tommy Chong has his cell phone pressed up tight against his ear, trying to find out where the person on the other end of the line is. At 85, his hearing isn't what it used to be. Sitting across from him in the booth of a restaurant located right off the lobby of an extremely busy hotel in downtown Austin, Texas, is Richard Marin. The 77-year-old actor is usually known by his nickname, Cheech. And he's perusing the menu while his longtime partner loudly issues directions regarding where to meet up later. Marin orders taquitos and will spend the rest of lunch generously offering up his meal to everyone at the table. Sitting right between the two of them is filmmaker David Bushell, who is asking what it's going to take to get Cheech and Chong into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. No comedians have ever been nominated, he points out, but these guys are as rock and roll as anyone else who's been inducted. If not them, then who? If you've followed Cheech and Chong's career as they've gone from from a two-man stage act to a multi-platinum recording artist to movie stars, the idea that this duo deserved a place in that particular pantheon isn't that far-fetched. Should anyone still doubt their worthiness, we direct them to Exhibit A, Cheech and Chong's last movie, Bushell's documentary on the duo who defined, if not outright invented, a certain potent strain of stoner comedy and continued to be icons for generations of potheads. It not only makes a strong case for them being the first, quote, hard rock comedians, unquote, coming out of the same counterculture that spawned a lot of the late 60s, early 70s bands, and doing the sort of hip, envelope-pushing material that crossed over with that music's scene. The doc also traces their history together, the ups and downs of a storied career, and gives them a chance to air their grievances with their old collaborators, with their critics, and most pointedly, with each other. It premiered at South by Southwest without a distributor. Someone please buy this film as soon as possible. And there's more, I think, somewhere here. Yes, here it goes. All right, the fact that no one had ever made the definitive portrait of Cheech and Chong before is frankly ridiculous, given how much ground these two guys have covered over a 50-plus year period. 50-plus years. It's kind of a no-brainer, Bushell says. Both guys not in agreement as well. A longtime producer, Sling Blade, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Dallas Buyers Club, Bushell had been talking to Robbie Chong, Tommy's daughter, about a possible reunion film back in the early 2000s. The plan was to make a traditional Cheech and Chong comedy along the lines of Up in Smoke. A number of obstacles, not the least of which was Chong going to prison in 2003, stalled the project. Still, Bushell and Robbie kept talking, trying to see if there was something they could put together for the pair. Years passed, and then, after something else Bushell had been developing fell apart at the last minute, the filmmaker went back to Robbie and suggested a stem-to-stern look back at their lives, covering everything from the pre-Cheech and Chong years. Chong had been a guitar player with the Bobby Taylor and the Vancouvers, an R&B act signed to Motown. Marin had left LA and headed north to avoid being sent to Vietnam with the idea of becoming a pottery professional. Not pot, but pottery. To their breakup in 1985. When they approached the comics with the idea, both signed on. So much of our careers has been, we just did what we were told to do, Chong says. Oh, you want to do a documentary on us? Okay, well, when do you need me to show up? It's an extension of what we've been doing for years. The plan has always been that there is no real plan. What's funny is that, as unlikely as that sounds, so a groundbreaking, immensely popular comedy duo just happened to become wildly successful? It sort of makes sense after you see last movie. According to both Marin and Chong, the idea that a Mexican-American from Watts and a Canadian-Chinese musician from Calgary met up at all, much less realize that they could parlay a rapport on stage into something bigger than just an underground novelty act, seems unbelievable, even to them. The two words that come up again and again over our hour-long conversation are serendipity and improvisation. The sheer luck of them finding each other and both realizing they craft comedy out of a shared, outside the mainstream outlook together felt like pure fate. I remember I was with Johnny Taylor in London, Chong recalls, and we'd just done a gig with Jimi Hendrix. We're all talking about what a fantastic musician he was, and for some reason I just blurted out, I'm going to be bigger than him. Conversation just stops dead. Everyone's staring at me. Finally, the drummer goes, so you're going to be a better guitarist than Jimi Hendrix? And I said, I didn't say better, I said bigger. I don't know why I felt that, why, I just did. Then later when I met Cheech, it was immediately like, oh, now I know why I felt that. This was the reason. The thing is, there were so many coincidences that happened. Marin says, like the fact that I ended up in the small Canadian town where Tommy grew up. I kept hearing about this Chong guy because he was the most famous musician who'd come from there. His name was in my ear all the time. Then I got to Vancouver and I see Tommy Chong on a poster for a club, and it's like, oh, it's that guy. I don't think you realized who I was right away, Chong counters, but we immediately started talking about childhood, drugs, the draft. Cheech didn't tell me who he was because he was careful of saying too much due to his situation in the States. I was not dodging the draft, Marin notes. I was just not participating in it. I was part of the draft resistance movement along with guys like David Harris, but I wasn't hiding out. The FBI knew where I was. When I met Tommy, I was writing for a rock and roll magazine, and he had this improv group. I'd seen Second City and the Committee in San Francisco, so we were trying to be like those guys, Chong interjects. And they were performing in this topless bar, Marin continues. It was like hippie burlesque. Never been done before, Chong says. Never been done before, Cheech echoes, or since I joined because I thought it was hilarious. And then when it just became us, we had a set of common references. I grew up steeped in R&B music, and Tommy played it. I grew up in a black neighborhood, and Tommy moved in that world. If I mentioned something for a sketch or a bit, I knew he'd get it. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. What if we did this with it? Then we'd go on stage, and it would just sort of happen. And the idea of the hippie generation being portrayed by this Chicano lowrider and this half Chinese dude and representing different aspects of America, I got that right away. The humor was not intellectual, Chong adds. That's why stoners and grade school kids both liked it. I mean, and I personally remember I was in 7th grade when my best friend in school brought me over to his house and played me Cheech Chong records. So that means I was 12. All right, so that's why stoners and grade school kids both liked it. I mean, you take something like Sister Mary Elephant character, he suddenly goes into her nasally voice. I don't know, I can't do it, but he says, familiar who owns the 1972 album Big Bamboo, class. Oh yeah, I do know this. Class, class. You didn't have to be a genius to find it funny. It takes a certain type of person to tell a joke that's both brilliant and stupid simultaneously, Cheech notes. It's not easy. And if you can put those things together, everybody gets it. As last movie winds through their timeline, you see how their ability to riff off each other informed pretty much every aspect of their career. When they went from being a stage act to recording albums, the creative process wasn't much different. Take an idea, run with it, and see where it goes. The movie goes into how they came up with their breakthrough bit. Oh, Dave's not here, right? Essentially, Cheech was stuck outside the studio on a sweltering hot day, continually knocking on the door to get back in, and Chong just kept fucking with him in real time. That was basically our rehearsal, Chong says. I had one of those tiny recorders going, and I wish I still had that rehearsal tape. It was even funnier than the version we cut in the studio a few hours later. So on stage, we had to figure out what played as funny, Cheech says. In the studio, it was about figuring out how to make something sound funny. When the two transitioned their signature Pedro and Man act to the movies, they came up with a blueprint for a story that left room for them to just do their thing. The word on Up in Smoke was Cheech and Chong are making a movie and there's no script. That was bullshit because there was a script. I know because I wrote it. Cheech and I hashed out the premise, but then we hired a bunch of folks from Robert Altman's movies and other actors who knew they could improvise. Tom Skerritt was from MASH. Stacy Keach, who I happened to work with one time, and Strother Martin were great with just rolling with whatever. That was how we made comedy. Cheech and Chong were already stars. Up in Smoke made them stratospheric. Luckily for us, we had a producer who made sure we didn't go too big, Chong says. What he means is the guy stole our money, Cheech adds. Yeah, when we were on the road or something, when we were on the road recording, we had money coming in when they were on the road, but when we were just making a movie, no money coming in. Later, I got sued over a loan, and we discovered some hanky-panky was going on, which I can't talk about because we ended up settling. But I like to think that because we were practically broke, it kept us working a lot, and that's why we have the legacy we do today. That's a very nice way of looking at it, Cheech says diplomatically. Let's see how we're continuing past the advertisement. It says the duo kept making movies together until the mid-1980s, at which point they decided to go their separate ways. The fact that Chong was now the de facto director of their films had kind of upset the balance of power, and the sort of Dope and Crosby double act they performed for the screen was becoming stifling. Marin recalls a story about making Born in East LA, the 1987 movie that he made based on his parody of Bruce Springsteen's Born in the USA. He showed a rough cut to a journalist because I just needed some feedback. The guy asked me a question, I answered him, and then he just stares at me. Doesn't say a word. Finally, I said, what's going on? And he replied, you don't speak with an accent. Like he believes I'm really that guy. I thought, I can't do this anymore. Cheech and Chong's last movie gets into all of this, courtesy of a setup that Bushell uses to move the documentary along. In between archival clips of old performances, vintage interviews, and animated anecdotes, He filmed the two of them driving through the desert and shooting the shit. If you want to see a new Cheech and Chong movie, if you want to see them sitting next to each other in a car, joking with each other, Bushell says, that's the classic bit. The idea was to use those sequences to transition from one segment or era to the next. Chong, for his part, was game to go along. Potheads have bad memories, so I thought, put us in a car together. That seems, I'm sorry, glitch here. That seems new. Let's try it, he jokes. Marin wasn't so sure, but eventually agreed. Bushell, however, was also hoping that these scenes would give them the space to talk openly with each other, to trap them in one spot and poke them with a little fork to see what comes up. The result is a little like sitting in someone's couples counseling session. The two comics bicker and bring up old grudges. It's uncomfortable, but it's also remarkably honest in the best possible way. Chong acknowledged that filming those sequences was, quote unquote, painful, but both of them admit it makes the doc better and underlines a key part of their relationship. There was a discussion that Dave and I had, Cheech says. He wanted me to put my arm around Tommy at one point, and I was like, I'm not doing that because it didn't feel true to me. I had to say, look, Tommy and I are not best friends. We're brothers. There's a difference. The thing about brothers is you don't always like each other. You get into vicious fights, but you always have your brother's back. And that's what those scenes are. The two talk some more, reminiscing about the old days and musing about the fact that you can now walk into a dispensary and buy high quality weed products, including some that bear their name. Well, we always acted like pot was legal, Chief says, because everywhere we went and when we were with people we were hanging out with, it was legal. Everyone else just caught up to us. Then they were ready to, and this is miswritten here, then they get ready to leave so they can rest up before they do a surprise appearance in a local club and treat an enthusiastic audience to a rendition of Mexican American from 1980's Cheech and Chong's next movie. Before they leave, Marin has one more story he wants to tell. This one's not in the doc, but it illustrates how over 5 decades after Cheech and Chong first started out, they still recognize that what Bushnell calls the combustion of these two guys together creates something bigger than the both of them. It's 2008, and Tommy has been doing a stand-up act with his wife Shelby for a while. They're playing a club in La Jolla, California, and invite Cheech to come sit in with them. We're going to be up on stage, they said, you just come up and join us when you're ready. When I got there, I sort of quietly walked into the bathroom, he recalls, and then I walked through the audience, and nobody knew it was me, because I just walked right out of the bathroom and up onto the stage. I sat down in a chair, and we started doing that car bit. We hadn't rehearsed it, it wasn't planned, and I hadn't done it in something like 15 years or whatever. And it was like we had done it the night before. It was all right there again. And that's the Talent News, episode 199.
Well,
Good job, Rodemary's.
yeah.
This is for you and Cheech and Chong.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Take a big toke for that one. Yeah, that was yeah. I've stuck with that long winded story, and it was great. I can't wait to see the documentary. That'll be great. I'm excited.
Thank you, Canada Nurse. I wish that reached all the way over to France. Just
I
that
do
big
too.
cloud.
I do too.
That big cloud coming right over here, the cloud. Oh, yes, I did that.
I'll send it to you.
Well, everybody, we're at the top of the hour. We got some Tommy and Cheech backstory today, from the hippie bordello, and so that's kind of cool. And thank you, Pop Mom. Thank you, Solo, for your incredibilism and medicalism, and thanks, the smoke lady in the bottle. And I'm gonna roll us out of here because Rodimus and I have a meeting in 5 minutes. And so,
You gonna roll us out of here?
I'm gonna roll us out of here, everybody. Where's my big bamboo? It's been super fun, everybody. So it's been really fun today, and Dr. Meno taught me to do that. And oh yeah, let's do our 3 shot. Thank you. Pop Mom always gets us 1, 2. Oh, I gotta get one. There we go. 3. Free the hair, everybody. Free the hair. So I did it. Got us, everybody. So I'm gonna roll us out of here. Rodimus, come back on in a few minutes, and we'll have our core meeting. And come in early so you and I can do like 30 seconds of download. And everybody, thank you. And just remember, free the prisoners, free the plant, free yourself. So here's our out.
Listen to the ladies.
Here's our out here, everybody. Bada bing, bada bang.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Solo. Bye. Bye, Cannabis. Bye, Jeff.
See you later. So we had the can of news. That was really great. And I have one more spot in here. Let's see if we can get our quick time recents to get it for us. We have a rap from the mixer. Let's play that. It's just a minute, 20 seconds. Oh no, it's the whole thing. Let's see here. The rap mixer. Is that the whole thing? Nope, it's not that one. We'll go boom, boom, and we will go hello everybody, and we'll go rap. Here we go. We had a great time at the mixer, everybody, and we raised quite a bit of funds to get us started. And so we're asking for participation and for your support for relieffoundation.org. We have t-shirts coming when I get a license for the AI graphic I made.
It's time to really realize that we're in the era of the punishment fitting crime doesn't work anymore. And so my name is Jeff Eichen. Welcome everybody to play the flag and bring 42,000 people.
So thanks everybody today. It was really a great show, and I'm going to sign out of all my usual spots here. And thanks to technology and all of our people that are helping to bring prisoners home, and Freedom Grow and all the people that helped us to get to our Relief Magical Mixer. It was a great week for us all and a little pivotal moment in time for our project world. So remember, NOCO 10 is happening April 11th through the 13th, and the Emerald Cup with Tim Blake, 30th year, August 17th and 18th in Oakland or in Oakland, not the Coliseum. That's where we want to do our thing. I'm out of here, everybody. Let's see if I can see who's left on the show here. We've got Solo here. Solo, you have one last quote for us?
Yeah, definitely have another quote.
Gotta hurry. I've got 1 minute before my next meeting.
When the world says give up, hope whispers, try it one more time.
Okay, everybody try one more time. Don't give up. Okay. And all you people out there considering leaving the planet, if you got to, bye-bye, happy trails, and otherwise, hemp hooray, and be careful with your weed. Okay, everybody, Jeff Eichen, over and out. Remember, that's our new peace sign. Okay, so let's go here to convert this and go boom, boom. Let's go to here. And thank you so much, StreamYard and YouTube. It's Jeff Eichen here, Hemp Hooray. We had a great show today, and everybody came in, our usual suspects. And I'm going to say over and out. Okay, see you next time for episode 200. It's Women in Weed Day.